hello everybody, and welcome to Tuesdays with the Pilgrim, as we continue our journey with Christian through the reading of John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress. Today we continue with Chapter 5, Parts 7, 8, and 9. So let's get to it, shall we? Part 7, The Study and the Armory. In the morning they all got up, and after talking some more, they told Christian he shouldn't leave until they show him some of the rare things preserved there. First they took him to the study, where they showed him records of the greatest antiquity. As I recall in my dream, the first thing they showed him was the genealogy of the Lord of that hill, revealing that he was the son of ancient days and descended from eternal lineage. His deeds were fully recorded, along with the names of many hundreds whom he had received into his service. He had provided them with permanent dwelling places that were not subject to decay by time or nature. Then they read to him some of the praiseworthy acts that some of the Lord's servants had done, how they had subdued kingdoms, established righteousness, claimed promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, even courageous in battle, and caused enemies and armies to retreat. They read further in another part of the records, where it was shown how willing their Lord would receive anyone with favor, yes, anyone, even though previously he may have heaped insults against the Lord in his way. Christian was able to survey the history of many other notable things as well. He learned of things both ancient and modern, along with prophecies and predictions of things that were sure to be fulfilled, both to the dread and amazement of enemies and to the comfort and solace of pilgrims. The next day they took him to the armory, where they showed him all kinds of equipment that the Lord had provided for pilgrims: sword, shield, helmet, breastplate, all prayer, and shoes that would never wear out. There were enough of these to equip many people for the Lord's service, as many as the stars in heaven. They also showed him some of the instruments with which his servants had done wonderful things: Moses' rod, the hammer and tent peg used by Jael to slay Sisera, the pitchers, trumpets, and lamps used by Gideon to put the armies of Midian to flight. They showed him the ox goad used by Shamgar to kill 600 Philistines, the jawbone used by Samson to do such mighty feats, and the sling and stone used by David to kill Goliath of Gath. They showed him the sword with which their Lord will overpower the man of lawlessness in the day of his coming confrontation. They showed him many other excellent things beside, which delighted Christian. After this, they went to bed for the night. Chapter 5, Part 9. A Look at the Delectable Mountains. Then I saw in my dream that when he got up the next day to continue his journey, they again asked him to stay until the next day. If the weather is clear, they told him, we would like to show to you the Delectable Mountains. They thought that seeing these mountains would encourage him, since they were closer to his destination than where he was presently. So he consented and stayed. Early the next morning they took him to the housetop and told him to look to the south. When he did, he saw far in the distance a very pleasant mountainous country, made beautiful by forests, vineyards, fruit trees of every kind, flowers, streams, and fountains, all in all a most delightful sight. Then he asked the name of the country. They answered, "That is Emmanuel's land, and like this hill, it is to be shared by all pilgrims. When you arrive there from here, you will be able to see the gate of the celestial city. The shepherds who live there will point it out to you." Chapter 5, Part 10. Resuming the journey in the Valley of Humiliation. Now it seemed to him that it was time to go, and they agreed. But first, they said, let us take you to the armory again. When they got there, they equipped Christian from head to foot with all he would need in case he was attacked on the way. He then walked with his friends to the gate, and there asked Watchful, the gatekeeper, if he had seen any pilgrims pass by. Yes, Watchful answered. Please tell me, was it someone you knew? Asked Christian. I asked his name, said Watchful, and he told me it was Faithful. Oh, I know him, said Christian. He's from my hometown, a close neighbor. How far ahead do you think he is? By this time he should be down the hill. Well, kind sir, may the Lord be with you and bless you greatly for all the kindness you have shown me. As he resumed his journey, discretion, piety, charity, and prudence decided to accompany him to the foot of the hill. So they went out together, reviewing some of their previous conversations until they reached the place where the hill began to descend. Then Christian said, It was difficult coming up the hill, and as far as I can see, going down it looks treacherous. Yes, it is, said Prudence. It is a very difficult thing for a man to go down into the valley of humiliation and not slip on the way. That is why we want to accompany you down the hill. So he began to make his way down very carefully, but even then he lost his footing once or twice. Then I saw in my dream that when they reached the bottom of the hill, Christian's dear companion gave him a loaf of bread, a bottle of wine, and a cluster of raisins, and he went on his way. And that's the end of chapter 5. Next week we will continue our readings with the beginning of chapter 6, Christian's encounter with Apollon. Until then, take care, stay safe.